Hey everyone, welcome back to English Daily Talk, your space for real stories, real emotions, and real English. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Chris. It's really good to have you here.
If you've been following our C1 series, you know our rhythm. We tell a story, then we slow down and reflect. After that, we discuss like two friends who actually listen to each other. And finally, we do a language spotlight with expressions you can borrow.
Today's episode is called The Quiet Discipline No One Claps For. It's about the kind of progress that happens without applause, the kind you can't post, the kind nobody notices.
And honestly, it's also about the kind of progress that actually changes you.
So if you can, grab a drink, sit somewhere comfortable, and let your mind soften for a while.
Ready?
Let's begin.
It started on an ordinary Thursday, the kind of day that doesn't feel like it deserves a memory. The sky was pale and impatient. The city looked like it was holding its breath, and I felt tired in a quiet way.
Not the dramatic kind of tired where you fall into bed like a movie scene.
Exactly. More like the tired that sits behind your eyes and makes everything feel slightly heavier. The kind where you can still do things, but every task has a small tax.
A tax on your attention.
Yes. I came home, dropped my bag near the door, and stood there for a second. I didn't even take my shoes off immediately. I just stood like my body was waiting for instructions.
And what were the instructions?
My brain offered the usual menu: 1, scroll; 2, snack; 3, lie down and promise myself I'll be productive tomorrow.
The classic trilogy.
I walked into the kitchen, opened the fridge, and stared at nothing. Then I heard my phone buzz. It was a message from you.
Let me guess. Something wise and poetic.
It was a photo.
Uh-oh.
A photo of your desk, a notebook, a pen, and a tiny sticky note with 3 words: 10 minutes, minimum.
I remember that moment. I had just finished work, and I could feel myself sliding into that state where you negotiate with your own goals like they're optional.
Negotiate with your own goals? That's exactly it.
Like, okay, I know I said I'd practice speaking every day, but today was intense, so maybe tomorrow. And tomorrow will be even better. It's not evil, it's just slippery.
Your photo didn't feel like pressure. It felt like a gentle interruption.
Good, because I wasn't trying to be motivational. I was trying to be honest.
I texted back, "Are you actually doing it?"
And I replied, yes. Not because I feel like it, because I said I would.
That line landed in my chest because I realized something uncomfortable. I had built my habits around my mood.
Ah, the fragile foundation.
If I felt energized, I'd practice. If I felt inspired, I'd journal. If I felt ambitious, I'd study. And when I didn't feel those things, I disappeared.
Like you're only allowed to show up when you're at your best?
Exactly. And the worst part is, I had a story for it. I called it self-care, but sometimes self-care was just avoidance wearing a soft sweater.
Wow, that sentence is going to hit people.
It hit me first.
So what happened next?
I walked into my room and looked at my own desk. It wasn't messy. Exactly. It was just unused, like a gym membership card you keep in your wallet as evidence of good intentions.
You mean it was a shrine to future you?
Yes, a shrine to the version of me who has energy, confidence, perfect pronunciation, and no responsibilities.
The imaginary version.
I sat down anyway. I didn't light a candle or make it aesthetic. I just opened my notebook and wrote a date at the top.
That's already discipline.
Then I opened a simple speaking practice app. My goal was to speak out loud for 10 minutes. Not record, not post, not do a perfect accent, just speak.
How did it feel?
Like trying to push a door that secretly weighs 1,000 kilograms.
Because you're tired.
Because I'm tired, and because I wanted to do it properly. I wanted it to count.
That word, count.
Exactly. My brain kept asking, if it's only 10 minutes, does it count? If my pronunciation is messy, does it count? If my sentences are simple, does it count?
And discipline is the act of saying, yes, it counts, because I showed up.
I started speaking. I talked about my day, but I forced myself to use the kind of vocabulary I usually save for writing. I described my fatigue as a quiet heaviness. I said I felt mentally frayed. I said my motivation felt thin. I kept going.
10 minutes doesn't sound long, but it can feel long when you have to face your own thoughts.
Halfway through, I made a mistake. I stopped. I corrected myself. Then I laughed.
That's a good sign.
It surprised me because my laugh didn't come from confidence. It came from relief. I wasn't performing. There was no audience. Nobody was going to clap. And yet, I was doing it.
You were keeping a promise.
Yes. And then something happened that I didn't expect. The 10 minutes ended, and my brain said, okay, that's enough. But my body said, wait, one more minute. So I did one more.
The quiet magic.
When I finally stopped, I looked around my room like something had changed. The lighting was the same. The world was the same. But inside, there was a small, steady feeling.
Like a light that isn't bright, but doesn't go out.
Exactly. I didn't feel proud in a loud way. I felt trustworthy
Trustworthy, that's a powerful word.
because I realized the real reward wasn't praise. It was self-respect.
And self-respect is built in private.
That night, I washed my cup, wiped the counter, and did something else small. I set out my notebook for the next day.
Setting the stage.
Yes. And I thought, this is the kind of discipline nobody claps for. No one was going to send a congratulations message because I spoke English for 10 minutes and cleaned my counter.
There isn't a trophy for that.
But there was a version of me who would wake up tomorrow and see the notebook ready and feel less resistance.
So your discipline became a gift to your future self.
Exactly. And I suddenly saw how much of life is made of that. Invisible gifts to future you.
The next day, did you do it again?
I did not perfectly. I was tempted to skip. I even started negotiating. Maybe today can be a rest day. But then I remembered your sticky note. 10 minutes. Minimum. So I did the minimum.
And that is the secret a lot of people avoid. The minimum is not pathetic. The minimum is the bridge.
The minimum is the bridge because it keeps the habit alive.
And when the habit stays alive, you stay connected to your identity.
My identity?
Yes, the identity of someone who shows up.
That line stayed with me all week.
So let me ask, when did it become more than just 10 minutes?
On Sunday, I woke up late. My room was quiet. The morning light looked kind, like it wasn't in a hurry. And I realized I wanted to do my speaking practice before I even checked my phone.
Oh, that's huge.
It was, it wasn't because I suddenly became disciplined. It was because the habit had started to feel normal. Not glamorous, not impressive. Normal.
That's the real transformation, when effort becomes routine.
I did 15 minutes without forcing it. Then I listened back to a recording from a month ago.
Brave.
And I noticed something subtle. My English wasn't suddenly perfect, but my pauses were calmer. My voice sounded less apologetic. My sentences sounded more owned.
Like you were taking up space.
Yes. And I thought, nobody clapped for any of the boring days that led here. But those days were the reason this moment existed.
The applause moment is usually the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. And that's when I knew what this episode needed to be about.
Let's pause the story there, because I think a lot of listeners are having a small, uncomfortable realization right now.
The realization that they have been waiting to feel ready,
Or waiting to feel motivated.
or waiting for the work to feel impressive.
And the truth is, most of the work that changes you is not impressive. It's repetitive, it's quiet, it's sometimes boring. It looks like nothing from the outside.
There's a phrase I heard once: The days you do not want to do it are the days that matter most. At first, I hated it. It sounded harsh. But now I understand it in a softer way.
What's the softer version?
The softer version is your willingness to show up when your emotions are messy is evidence that you trust your future. Because you're saying, even if I don't feel it today, I still believe this matters.
That's beautiful.
And it changes how you measure progress. When your measurement is applause, you need an audience. When your measurement is self respect, you only need honesty.
I want to underline something. Discipline is not punishment. A lot of people hear discipline and imagine a strict person yelling at themselves.
Like a coach with a whistle.
Exactly. But quiet discipline is more like a calm agreement. It's you saying, "This is what I do, even on ordinary days." It's not dramatic.
It's actually gentle.
Yes, it's gentle, but it is also firm,
That combination is rare.
because we usually choose one. Either we are gentle and not firm, so we become inconsistent, or we are firm but not gentle, so we burn out.
And then we blame ourselves.
Right. But quiet discipline is a third option. It says, "I will keep my promise, but I will keep it in a humane way."
That word humane matters because discipline can become toxic if it becomes a performance or if it becomes self hatred.
So let's make it practical. What did you do that was humane?
I chose a minimum 10 minutes
The minimum is everything.
because the minimum reduces the drama. It reduces the need to be heroic. It gives you a simple question. Can I do the minimum today?
And most days you can.
Even if you feel tired, even if you feel awkward, even if you do it badly.
And when you do it badly, you learn something important. The world does not collapse.
Yes, your ego is the one that says, if I cannot do it perfectly, I should not do it at all. Quiet discipline says, I will do it imperfectly and still keep my promise.
That's how you build resilience.
Also, there's something emotional here. When nobody claps, you discover what motivates you.
Explain.
If I only do things when someone notices, then my motivation is external. It's fragile. It's like a balloon tied to other people's opinions.
And when nobody notices, the balloon falls.
Yes, but if I do something in private, I learn to be motivated by meaning, by identity, by values.
By who you want to become.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk like two friends now. I want to ask you a slightly personal question. Why do you think we secretly want applause?
Because applause is certainty. It's immediate feedback.
Right.
When someone claps, you don't have to wonder if your effort mattered. They confirm it. They validate you.
And that feels safe.
It does. But it also creates a trap. Because we start to avoid efforts that cannot be validated.
Like practicing speaking alone.
Exactly. Or reading quietly. Or rewriting a sentence until it's clean. Or showing up to exercise when nobody is watching.
Or saving money. Or going to sleep on time.
These things are so unglamorous.
But they are the foundation.
I think we also want applause because it makes us feel seen.
Yes.
And a lot of people carry a quiet fear that if they are not impressive, they are invisible.
That's heavy.
It is. And I think that's why quiet discipline can feel lonely at first. You're doing the work, but you don't feel seen.
So what do you do with that loneliness?
You learn to see yourself.
That's the answer.
You learn to notice the small wins, and you become your own witness.
I love that phrase. Be your own witness. Because it means you stop living only for external confirmation.
Exactly. And it doesn't mean you never want praise, it's normal to want it.
Of course.
It just means praise becomes a bonus, not the fuel.
Okay, let's get concrete for listeners. Suppose someone is learning English and they feel stuck. They keep starting, stopping, starting, stopping. What does quiet discipline look like for them?
It looks like choosing a minimum habit that is so small you cannot argue with it.
Give examples.
5 minutes of speaking out loud, not in your head, out loud.
Good.
One paragraph of reading, or one short video without subtitles.
Or one voice note to yourself.
Yes. Or one sentence you write every night. A single sentence.
And the key is, do it even when you feel embarrassed,
Especially when you feel embarrassed.
because embarrassment is not danger.
It's just a feeling.
So what happens after 2 weeks of the minimum?
2 weeks is long enough for your brain to stop treating the habit as an emergency.
Nice.
It becomes less dramatic. The resistance becomes smaller.
And then you can gradually raise the standard.
Exactly. But you only raise it after consistency, not before.
That's another trap. People set a maximum instead of a minimum. They say, I will study 2 hours every day, and then they fail and they feel shame.
And shame kills habits.
Quiet discipline avoids shame by setting realistic promises.
And keeping them?
Okay, I want to challenge you. Is there a time when discipline becomes unhealthy?
Yes. When discipline becomes identity in a rigid way. When you cannot rest without guilt.
Or when your minimum becomes a maximum again?
Exactly. When you cannot adjust your habit to your life.
So the principle is discipline should serve your life, not replace it.
Yes. Discipline is a tool, not a religion.
That's a strong line.
Also, discipline becomes unhealthy when it becomes a way to prove your worth.
Like, if I do this, then I deserve love.
Yes. Quiet discipline is not about deserving. It's about becoming.
Becoming who you said you want to be.
Exactly.
Okay, last question in this discussion. What do you do on the days when you fail? When you skip?
You return without drama.
Say more.
You don't turn one missed day into a story about your character. You don't say, I always fail. I'm not disciplined. You say, I missed today. Tomorrow I return to the minimum.
No punishment.
No punishment, just honesty.
And maybe curiosity. Why did I miss it?
Yes. Curiosity is kinder than judgment.
And that kindness helps you stay consistent.
Because the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be steady.
All right, language spotlight time. We'll pull out C1 level phrases from the episode and show you how to actually use them.
As always, do not try to memorize everything. Just choose 2 or 3 expressions that feel natural to you and practice them this week.
To negotiate with myself. We used this when we talked about negotiating with your own goals.
It means you start making excuses or bargaining with yourself so you can avoid a task.
Example, I negotiated with myself for 20 minutes and convinced myself that tomorrow was better.
Another example, I started negotiating with myself. Just one episode, then I will study. And suddenly it was midnight.
A quiet heaviness. This is a vivid, high-level way to describe fatigue or emotional weight.
Example, I woke up with a quiet heaviness in my chest, like my energy was wrapped in cotton.
You can use it for sadness too. After the argument, there was a quiet heaviness in the room.
A small tax on my attention. We said every task had a small tax.
This is a strong metaphor for mental effort.
Example, even simple emails feel expensive today. Each one charges a small tax on my attention. To set a minimum,
This is the practical core of the episode.
example, I set a minimum of 5 minutes a day because 5 minutes is harder to refuse.
Another, my minimum is tiny, but it keeps the habit alive.
To keep the habit alive. Great phrase for consistency.
Example, I did not do much, but I kept the habit alive.
A shrine to future me. This is a playful metaphor you can use in conversation.
Example, my desk was a shrine to future me, perfectly organized, completely unused.
Another, that brand new notebook was basically a shrine to future me.
Applause is the bonus, not the fuel. This structure is very useful.
Example, praise is lovely, but it is the bonus, not the fuel.
Another, motivation can be a burst, but discipline is the fuel.
To be my own witness. This one is emotional and powerful.
It means you notice your own effort instead of waiting for external validation.
Example, no one noticed, but I was my own witness. I saw myself show up.
To return without drama. This is a mature way to talk about failure.
Example, I missed 2 days. Instead of quitting, I returned without drama.
Another, when I fall off track, I try to return without punishment.
Mini practice. Make it yours. Here are 3 short prompts. Pause and speak out loud. Yes, out loud. Prompt A, describe a habit you keep negotiating with yourself about. Suggested starter. Lately, I keep negotiating with myself about. Prompt B, describe how your body feels on a low energy day. Suggested starter. Today I feel a quiet heaviness because. Prompt C, describe your minimum. Suggested starter. My minimum standard is.
And here's a simple C1 challenge. Tell the same story twice.
First time, speak normally.
Second time, use at least 3 expressions from today.
This is how vocabulary becomes yours.
Pattern 1, not because X, but because Y.
Example, not because I felt inspired, but because I said I would.
Pattern 2, it was not dramatic. It was.
Example, it was not dramatic. It was a small, steady feeling.
Pattern 3, the real reward was not X, it was Y.
Example, the real reward was not praise, it was self-respect.
If you want to level up, write your own 3 sentences using those patterns, then read them out loud for 1 minute.
1 minute counts.
Before we go, I want to bring us back to the title. The quiet discipline no one claps for.
If you take one thing from today, let it be this. Do not wait to feel impressive.
Choose a minimum and keep your promise.
Even when you're tired, even when you are awkward, even when it feels small.
Because small does not mean meaningless.
Small is often the doorway.
And remember, discipline is not a punishment. It is a quiet form of self-respect.
This week, try it. Pick one tiny habit and show up for 7 days. Then notice how you feel about yourself.
Be your own witness.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
If this episode helped you, share it with a friend who is waiting for motivation.
And as always, keep going. Quietly, steadily, kindly.
See you next time.
Wait, can we add one more piece before we end? I want to make this episode more actionable.
Yes, because it is easy to feel inspired for 5 minutes and then go back to old patterns.
Exactly. So if you are listening right now, imagine we are handing you a small, simple challenge, not a dramatic transformation, just a week of quiet discipline.
7 days, short enough to start, long enough to feel the difference.
Step 1, choose your minimum. Pick one English habit that you can do even on a bad day.
Not on your best day, on your worst ordinary day.
Here are a few options. Speak out loud for 3 minutes. Read one paragraph and underline 2 new phrases. Listen to one short clip and repeat one sentence. Write one sentence about your day.
Choose only one for this week.
Step 2, decide when it happens. Do not leave it to mood, attach it to a trigger.
A trigger means something that already happens.
For example, after you brush your teeth, after you make coffee, after you arrive home, before you open social media.
If you make the time decision in advance, you reduce negotiation.
Step 3, make it visible. This is a small psychological trick.
Put the notebook on your pillow. Put a sticky note on your desk. Set a reminder.
The goal is to remove friction.
Quiet discipline loves low friction.
Step 4. Track it like a scientist, not like a judge.
Track it like a scientist.
That means you collect data without shame.
Each day ask, did I do my minimum? Yes or no?
If yes, draw a small mark. If no, write one sentence about why.
One sentence only. No long self-attack.
Step 5. Return without drama. This is the most important step.
If you miss a day, do not punish yourself.
Do not restart the week. Do not throw everything away.
Just return to the minimum the next day.
The skill is not never failing. The skill is returning.
Can I share something? A few months ago, I tried to build a reading habit in English.
And you are already strong in English.
Yes, but habit is not about skill. It is about behavior.
True,
My first plan was ambitious. I said I would read 20 pages every night. It lasted 2 days.
because it was a maximum.
Exactly. So I changed the plan. My minimum became 1 page. 1 page.
That sounds almost funny.
It did, but it worked. Because even on nights when my brain felt like soup, I could read 1 page.
And once you start, sometimes you keep going.
Right. Many nights I read 5 pages. Some nights I read one. But the habit stayed alive. And after 3 weeks, reading felt normal again.
That is what people underestimate. Normal is powerful. There is another part of quiet discipline that is emotional, not practical.
The part where you feel invisible.
Yes, because when you do small work in private, you might hear an inner voice saying, "This is pointless,"
Or nobody cares.
or "This is not enough."
So what do we say to that voice?
We say, "Enough for what?"
Great question.
Enough to get applause? Maybe not.
Enough to build your identity? Yes.
Enough to build trust with yourself? Yes.
Enough to improve over time? Yes.
The voice is often comparing your quiet practice with somebody else's highlight moment.
Like comparing your Tuesday night to someone else's stage?
Exactly. And quiet discipline is the refusal to compare those things.
I want to offer a reframe. Discipline is loyalty.
Loyalty to what?
Loyalty to the person you said you want to become.
Wow.
Because every day you either keep your promise or you break it.
And when you keep it, you send yourself a message.
The message is, I can rely on me.
That message is life-changing.
And it spreads. When you can rely on yourself in one area, you start trusting yourself in other areas too.
Like if I can keep my English habit, maybe I can also keep my sleep schedule.
Or your boundaries.
Or your saving plan.
Exactly.
If you want, do a 2-minute speaking practice right now.
You can pause after each question and answer out loud.
Question 1. What is one habit you keep negotiating with yourself about?
Question 2. What could be a minimum version of that habit?
Question 3. When will you do it tomorrow? Attach it to a trigger.
Question 4. What will you say to yourself when you do not feel like doing it?
Here is a sentence you can use. I am not doing this because I feel ready. I am doing it because I said I would.
Here are a few extra C1 level words connected to discipline. Use them in your speaking this week.
Consistency. The ability to keep doing something over time.
Friction. Small obstacles that make a habit harder to do.
Sustain. To continue something without burning out.
Temptation. A strong desire to do something easier instead.
Accountability. Being responsible for your own actions.
Relapse. Falling back into an old habit.
Recovery. Returning after a relapse.
Notice how these words are not only about language learning, they are about life.
Okay, now we can truly end.
If you listen this far, take that as proof. You're the kind of person who shows up.
Remember, the quiet discipline no one claps for is not small. It is the root.
The visible results are the fruit.
Choose your minimum. Keep the habit alive. Return without drama.
And be your own witness.
Thank you for being here with us on English Daily Talk.
See you in the next episode.